Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, BASHEM, YAHAWASHI, BASHEM, RAKWAK, BADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom to my AHPARYAM, YAHAWAH, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakab coming at you with another lesson. And today's lesson is going to be on this ex-IUIC sister. Says they put burdens on her and would not lift a finger to help her. So this was a very big thing. Well, not necessarily big, but this is a thing to me that kind of shows a bit of IUIC's hypocrisy, where they always talk about, oh, we care about the sisters, but then well, number one, when a sister actually needed help, okay, especially with that whole, I think it was IUIC that had done that land grab thing. They say, oh, we're trying to make this stuff we're trying to get this stuff for Israel. We're doing this for Israel, this, that, and third, whatever. When in actuality, again, like, no, the actual Israelites, especially one of their own that was a part of them, okay, they're not the ones that are benefiting from it. It's only the the leadership that is benefiting from it, apparently. All right, so it's like, how are you guys going to constantly be allowing yourselves to be fooled by these exact same people, and then allow them to continuously slander other people when they themselves are hypocrites? Okay, so let's actually get into this in Matthew chapter 6, verse 1. Take heed that ye do not your alms before men to be seen of them, otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth. Take that thine alms that thy alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly. Okay, so basically, when you do your good, your alms, your whatever, the things that you're supposed to be doing, all right, you're not supposed to be doing it for the people, all right, the congregation can see me doing good, they see me doing good, so I'm fulfilling my obligation of making people see me as this good person. But then when behind closed doors, I'm abusing and misusing my power. I'm doing whatever and hurting people and whatnot behind closed doors. But I'm never gonna let that publicly reach the forefronts and stuff like that. All right, and apparently, whenever someone leaves IUIC, apparently there's a whole smear campaign and whatnot, based on what the sister was saying. All right, this ex-IUIC sister was saying. Okay, so I thought that was pretty interesting, as well as a very important lesson to do, because again, like, you have IUIC that's always trying to make themselves look like, oh, they're the best people. Oh, Slocky, I also remember another video that was done by I think an ex-IUIC member or something like that, where I forgot what he said exactly, but I do remember that when there was something that was, I think it was one of the feast days when they were supposed to be camping out and stuff like that. I think the leadership had all went to go get hotel rooms or something like that, where when it was windy and stuff like that, when it was windy, rather than camping out even in the elements and stuff like that, that was a thing that I definitely remember hearing. But obviously this is just hearsay. I'm not going to say that that is a fact, okay? Because I'm just vaguely remembering what the guy said in regards to what he had experienced, where he felt like that the leadership is very hypocritical when they are doing stuff. They show themselves, oh yeah, we're good, God fearing men, this, that, and the third. But in actuality, when things get hard, when the opportunity presents themselves for them to actually prove themselves to YAHAWAH, okay, in the eyes of YAHAWAH specifically alone, then it's like they change up. Okay, let's actually get that. All right. I think it's Proverbs chapter 15. Proverbs chapter 15 verse 3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. The Lord sees all. The Lord sees you when you're doing wrong. The Lord sees you when you're doing good, be it in secret or out in the open. So, obviously the Lord's going to reward you accordingly. If you do evil in front of people, behind people, then of course, yeah, that's what you have to expect. And again, like, this is a major thing that I think most people tend to forget, that the Lord Yahawadah sees all. And people just think people are more focused on their public image, all right, which I think this society and this time that we're in has put such a huge emphasis on public image with the advancement of technology and social media and stuff like that. As a result of that, it's very what's the word? How do you say? It's very vain, I guess. Like that's a good term. It's very vain, where people are only worried about, how can we get more and more people in? How do we make ourselves look better and make people think, oh yeah, this is a good thing. Let's all join in so we can get more money from these people and drain more people from their stuff and stuff like that. Like, this is the thing, like, that we have to look out for. And it's like you start to kind of like think like, well, like, well, you should already, if you have ever been a part of IUIC and you've seen the type of stuff, or if any of the stuff that these ex-IUIC members are saying is true, where you have to help everyone else, but you don't ever get any help, if there's special treatment or anything like that, then that's when it's really just your fault. How is IUIC so big? Okay, and Slakia, that's where I'm gonna have to draw some doubt in the things that this ex-IUIC member is saying, because well, actually, then again, it is kind of believable in the sense. I'll just say that it's good to have some healthy skepticism, because there are people that do kind of, I guess, believe in some cult-like mindsets that will say, okay, yeah, this is just a test, this is just this and that's just that and whatever. Or maybe they are actually having a good time and whatnot, or being included, because ultimately I would still say that being a part of IUIC is still better than, regardless of if let's just say that all the stuff that they're saying is true, okay, that the bad people, the people that left, the ex-members are saying is true. Let's say even in the event that it is true, it's still better to be a part of IUIC than to be a random nigga or nigga woman in the world. All right, like you're not I mean the options is just a bit, it's kind of like night and day even still. Okay, obviously I'm not saying that, oh yeah, just go be a part of IUIC as a result of it if you can. All right, but no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying in the sense of like, observing the things. It's just kind of like, we see the stuff, we see how things are going, we see that Esau is, kind of like, not Esau. We see that IUIC is kind of like, maybe they have their flaws, but ultimately, it is partially a positive, but ultimately that does not excuse the wickedness that they're doing. If they are, giving special treatment, if they are, exploiting certain people, okay, we literally left the Christian church because we felt we were being exploited. We left the Christian church because the Christian church was not for us. It's not for Israelite men and women, all right, or children, whatever, in general, okay? It's not for us. It's something that was meant to keep us submissive and not to call on the name of YAHAWAH. Okay, so as a result of that, this is the things that we have to kind of reflect on and think, is this really what I am good with? Am I content with this type of behavior, with this type of lifestyle? But at the same time, even then, you still have to understand that there are going to come hardships, but at the same time, you don't want to. Let me get that. As a matter of fact, bear with me. Subjection. Hey there, call on LAWAYA. See, Sirach chapter 4. Sirach chapter 4, verse 27. Make not thyself an underling to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty. Slaki, that's another. I'm just gonna. Okay, well, whatever. Let's just continue on. But yeah, take notes. Sirach chapter 4, verse 27. Make not thyself an underling to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty. Okay, so yeah, this is another thing where we are not supposed to be allowing someone that is abusing their power, being wicked, to be our leader. We're not supposed to be following someone that is not properly following Yahawadah. And that's the thing where if you in general, if you wholeheartedly believe that this person is not following Yahawadah, be it me. Like if you're watching my videos and you think that I'm not following Yahawadah, then you just need to leave, unsubscribe, unfollow, on whatever. All right, me, because I'm not someone that that just will accept anyone. I'm very, very selective about the people that I associate with and will call my and I'm willing to call my brother / sister and whatnot. Okay, I'm very selective about that, like too selective. And as a result of that, the Lord has given me the complementary character trait of heavily tolerating being alone as a result of it, because I'm not just gonna say, oh, so I found a so-called black man, I'm just gonna say, yeah, you can be my brother and whatnot, or just accepting anyone in general. Okay, which I heard that many times before, where you can't just associate with just anyone. Like it's not a wise thing to do, because you never know what type of thing. It's lucky. That's another thing where even Jake jokes about it a lot, where they make friends with crash outs, where they will say the dumbest things, and they will be like, oh yeah, you want to fight me, get your gun out, this, that, and the third, and yeah, we'll take you both. And you will have a crash out friend that will literally associate you with them, and then you have to deal with whatever problem that they are starting. All right, so like that, these are the type of things where you have to say, like, no, I would rather stay alone than than with someone that's going to put my life in danger unnecessarily. All right. Obviously, there's a time and place for everything, but the thing is that if you got a friend that's just picking fights for no reason, then obviously you don't want to associate yourself with that type of person. Like, you just leave that to the world. Okay, leave that person in the world. Leave that person to the world. All right. Don't be throwing your life away for some foolish person. All right. Obviously, if you have a friend or whatever that actually does get in the fight for the right reasons, for whatever for a proper reason, like someone's bothering them, and that's another thing. Okay, that's another thing where you defend them. But if they are actively seeking out trouble, then obviously you have to have the spiritual discernment to understand, like, okay, you know what, this person, they never start fights, so obviously it means that someone's bothering them and whatnot. All right. So yeah, like, you don't associate yourself with wicked people or people that are always occupied in trouble. All right. As a matter of fact, let me get that precept. Sirach chapter 12 verse 3, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. So yeah, you don't want to be around someone that never has anything good going on with them. They're never trying to do something good. All right, they only want violence, fighting, and all that type of stuff. All right. Philippians chapter 2 verse 12, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right, so that's another thing where again, your salvation is not dependent on who you're, well, partially. That's a heavy, very heavy partiality. All right, it's not so technically, kinda, but at the same time, no. And the reason why is because as I said before, if you are friends, let's say you always hang out with someone that is trying to pick fights with random people, then obviously you're going to be killed. But you could potentially be killed just by association, and under that same umbrella. All right, which funnily enough, this happened to me when I was going to school prior to me being the truth. When I was going to school, the teachers would say, "Hey, go hang out with Kawakab and whatnot." Or the teacher would tell the other boys, "Go hang out with Kawakab," and which I'm saying as me. All right, with me, because I would never be making trouble. I would always be that odd one out that would just keep my mouth shut and not cause trouble, but most of the other boys would. And some of them sometimes, okay, would say, "Okay, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna go try to make peace, and I'm gonna go hang out with Kawakab and whatnot. I mean, go do this. I'm not trying to get in trouble. I'm not trying to do this, that, and the third." And on a technicality, yeah, what had happened as a result of that, maybe, because I'm not trying to big myself up or make myself seem like, oh, I'm a top dog and whatnot, but also at the same time, I believe that through the spirit of empower YAHAWASHI, I believe that sometimes the Lord is working with brothers. Okay, maybe it happened to other brothers as well, and but whatnot and whatnot. But the main thing is that as a result of that, at least one of the brother or one of the boys at the school that I had went to, kind of grew out of his, rebellious phase, and, I actually genuinely have a lot of respect for him for that change, because, when I was first going in a few years, he was kind of annoying to me, a bit of a bully, bit of a troublemaker. But then I don't know. I really don't know what happened. But like he just kind of like changed, and he always kept on trying to like associate with me and tie association to me. All right, where he was he made that big change. So yeah, in a way, who you associate yourself with could definitely be a contributing factor to you receiving salvation, because if you're always friends with that one person, or those people that are always trying their best to do right, that are always trying to be locked in with YAHAWAH, then of course what's going to happen is that you're going to copy what he's doing. You're going to copy what he's doing. You're going to do what he is doing. If you are more so the you're more so the influenced rather than the influencer. All right, and then you're going to copy his thing. You're going to be more peaceful, more harmonious, and more less problematic, to the point where it's like, okay, so yeah, because you're not being problematic, because you're friends, you're associating yourself with someone that is trying to make peace. It's like you're trying to make peace. Then of course it's like this is the thing that happens as a result, where you become more attuned to wanting to do stuff that's contributes to pleasing Yahawadah, where you're not making problems, you're not being problematic, you're cool, you're calming down, you're stopping the trouble that you are making. All right, so like this is another thing. Okay, so yeah, this is why you have to really kind of like observe, like, who are you associating yourself with, and do you want to be associated with X, Y, and Z person? Okay, which for the people that are leaving IUIC, going back to that, Slakia for getting off track on that, but going back to that, it's like is it like Slakia, the thing is, like, even with IUIC, like, there are millions, and I say millions of different like camps. So as soon as you know about IUIC, you should be able to know about other camps, especially given, well, I don't think IUIC really talks about other camps and whatnot, but I think they do say, oh yeah, we are in fellowship or whatever about other camps and stuff like that. And I think they said that, I forgot, whenever, a couple months before the whole Al-Azhar thing happened, where they said that they were in union with Sakari, and I think it was WFI, I think one of the other one other camp. Okay, but yeah, basically that was a big thing where they are you can basically look around, and whichever camp resonates with you. I'm not saying in a sense, I highly recommend you going to GMS, but the fact of the matter is that if you aren't part of the elect, then it's really just not up to me, and I can't really say oh yeah, you should definitely still go to GMS. Like, it's just like, if you feel like you resonate more with another camp, okay, like IUIC and whatnot, then definitely just stick to them, follow them only. Okay, like, just don't go camp hopping and stuff like that. Just stick to one camp and one camp only. If you feel like more comfortable, if you feel like your spirit resonates more with IUIC or HODC or GOCC, WFI, HOI, Sakari, GMS, whatever, let the spirit guide you into sticking with whomever, because I'm not one to really accumulate followers and stuff like that. All right, so basically, yeah, continuing on, let's go back. Yeah, another thing is just like, in general, we have to let me read this again. It's Philippians chapter 2 verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay, so this is another thing where, again, it goes into you working out stuff on your own, where you have to do the homework. You have to do the homework to make sure that are you in the right mind? Are you in the right mind? Are you ready to, are you ready to meet YAHAWASHI? Are you ready to answer for the stuff that you did? Or are you just, just going with the motion, going with the flow and whatnot? You feel like you need someone to, you need Bishop Nate to talk on your behalf for all the stuff and for your appeal for you need Bishop Nathaniel, Elder Apostle Dahar, or someone to say, hey, can this person get in? Can this person do this, that, and third? When no, it's just that your own works has to be what your own works, your own contribution to YAHAWASHI has to be the only thing that determines if you will receive salvation or not. Okay, it's not a matter of Slakia, bear with me one moment. Okay, so as I was saying, basically you have to be worried about your own salvation and doing the work yourself as an individual, all right? And the thing is that, yes, again, as I said before, associating yourself with the right people will kind of help with that, but ultimately, someone's not going to speak on your behalf. Someone's not going to, say, oh, this brother was, doing this, then the third, so yeah, let's let him do it. He was always with me and whatnot. You're not going to be saved by riding on someone else's coattails. All right, so it's not always about who you know. All right, as best as I can say it. Psalm chapter 94 verse 22. But the Lord is my defense, and Yahweh. And my power is the rock of my refuge. And this is another thing where, in terms of the whole, what's it called? Slander campaign. Like, sometimes you just have to just accept things as they are. Okay, because I know some people, they would rather not have their name slandered, but it's like this is kind of a bit of judgment. All right, honestly, yeah, like this is pretty much judgment for a lot of the I want to say women in IUIC for having followed IUIC in the first place, because the thing is, like, primarily for I think IUIC, what they did or what they do is they really appeal to women's needs by saying stuff like they kind of like hold back certain things that are supposed to be said. They kind of let the women be included, do this and whatever for the women in order to, they basically appeal to the women so that they will, be more comfortable. But then when there's the actual application, okay, like it's just like, well, it's like, well, fuck you at the end of the day. Well, fuck, that's basically it. It's like they don't actually care apparently since you got female members of IUIC leaving. All right, so of course, what happened? What she had said was she was trying to leave quietly. She didn't want to make a grand exit. She just thought, you know what, I don't feel like this is a place for me. So like, yeah, she was basically saying like, I don't feel like this is the place for me. I'm just gonna leave quietly. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna stop coming in, and then smear campaign on her name and whatnot from the thing. And obviously, it makes sense that they're gonna make a smear campaign on her because they want to keep up appearances. They want to make sure that if ever anything happens, they want to keep a good name on. We want to keep a good name on us. We don't want what's it called? We don't want people to say, oh, we were treating people bad, we were doing this, we were doing that. All right, when it's really just in matters like that, it's really just their word against hers. And it's like, well, if both parties are just talking bad about each other, well, who's to say one is right or the other? What if they're both just lying? What if one of them is like slucky? Like, you see the thing, like, that's why it's like it's so messy, and that's why it's like you got enticed by the sweet words of IUIC, when things aren't as plain and simple. You have IUIC saying, oh, if your husband or if your wife doesn't convert within a year, you have to divorce them and stuff like that, which that's crazy and wicked as all hell. All right, I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy. But yes, like these types of stuff, it's so like underhanded, it's so sad. All right, that you have people falling for this type of stuff. And so IUIC has a lot of members. They actually have a lot of members, and stuff like that. So clearly, their enticement ways are appealing to a lot of people. All right. But yeah, also that's also another thing where you just have to just kind of like say, you know what, I'm just gonna, even though I know that this thing is gonna happen, but I have to do the right thing. This is not for me, so I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna do what I need to do, and then just trust that Yahawadah. All right, it's kind of like with I forgot who it was. Yeah, it was when Daniel was thrown in the lion's den. Okay, he wasn't gonna lie and say, oh no, I don't believe in Yahawadah. I'm not gonna do this, that, third, and whatever. Okay, he just said, you know what? Hey, you got do what you got to do. Do what you got to do, and then hey, the Lord protected you. Okay, the Lord protected him. The Lord protected him, and things went well for him. Like he wasn't suffering. He wasn't pressed. He was not pressed on that. All right. The lions kept their mouths shut. They didn't attack him. Okay, he was chilling. And then he got out. That's as simple as that. And you need to be able to do the same thing where even though things might seem hard, tough, and whatnot, sometimes you just have to do the right thing and then trust that the Lord's going to protect you all throughout it. Okay. So Exodus chapter 14 verse 14, the Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Okay, that's all you have to do. Hold your peace. Just shut up, stay still, wait for the Lord to handle all of your problems. Okay, if it is out of your control, especially if it's in like a smear campaign, like if you are leaving IUIC, it's because like, okay, well, it's just basically the Christian church. Once again, you can watch the video. The link is in the description. As always, if I ever use a video, the link is going to be in the description. But the thing is, like, if you want to, it's basically just like a Christian church where you have to give them money, where you have to give the church money, the congregation money, and they never help you and whatnot. You're just suffering. But it did kind of seem like she didn't tell them that she needed help. She just expected them to just help her, like, or volunteer to help her, which I think that's kind of dishonest. Where if you need help, you should ask. You should just take the initiative, because especially if you are putting money, are you're helping other people. Of course, sometimes you might feel a little wrong. And speaking to myself first and foremost, I personally don't like asking for help, but that's because of that thing that's ingrained in us living in Babylon, where we are basically taught never ask for help and stuff like that. It's a shame to ask for help and whatnot. Okay, where like that's just how Esau is, because Esau wants us to just suffer in silence or die in silence. All right. Oh yeah, beautiful place to end off. Psalm 91 from the top. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my power, and in Him will I trust. Surely He will deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Okay, He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His trust shall be thy shield and buckler. So basically, yeah, just even though things are going to be hard, we just have to trust that the Lord's going to protect us all throughout. I call I speak to myself first and foremost. Just sometimes life isn't always the easiest, and you, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, as long as you are trying to, I guess, optimize pleasing YAHAWASHI, which again, like speaking to myself, I'm trying my best to optimize and try to do my part, do what I can. So there are different ways that we can kind of contribute to serving the Lord. All right, but yeah, just in general, Yahawadah, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah Ba'Hashem, Yahawashi Ba'Hashem, Rakwakwadosh, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Abad Ball, and Shalom.